Hey, welcome back. Happening this Saturday, Ronald McDonald House Charities Greater Houston's hosting their annual Run for the House event. Joining me live to talk more about it and how you can participate, Cristina Vetrano, who's the CEO of the Ronald McDonald House, now of Greater Houston, and board member David Hicks, both with us. Good morning. How y'all doing?
We're great.
Great.
Thanit's for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So Saturday, it's coming pretty quick. Are you ready? Are you excited?
We're ready. Absolutely.
All right. Tell us all about this event. How did it come to be?
This is the 15th year, and it actually started, we have a gentleman named Christian Diaz, who's also on our board, and his daughter had a brain aneurysm, and he remembers the day that he was following the helicopter to Texas Children's Hospital from the Woodlands, and they ended up spending quite a bit of time staying at the Ronald McDonald House inside of the hospital. And today his daughter's doing great, and she runs in the run with us, and we love that. But he wanted to do something to honor the support that his family received. And so Trafigura is a sponsor, and he works there and has done a great job of helping us build this event year after year.
That's great. David, it sounds like so many families come to know about Ronald McDonald House in a really difficult time, but then so often there's that light at the end of the tunnel. Talk a little bit about just the beauty and the work that's done at the Ronald McDonald House.
Yeah, so my wife and I, Owen, we lived in the house for close to a month when our son was born in 2007. So he had a very rare, a little bit of anomaly really with his heart that they didn't know what would happen. And so he was dealing with some ventricular tachycardia. And so as a result of that, we lived for about 2 weeks in the Texas Children's House when he was in the NICU, and then he was discharged, and then he went back into an arrhythmia with tachycardia. And so we spent another 2 weeks living in the Holcomb House or in the PICU waiting room. And so being inside of that house, and it really is just a home away from home, and it's just something magical that happens. The families come together. You have families that are outside of it, and organizations that are cooking meals for everybody. And so that is something that is priceless, and I don't know how we could have gotten through that and without having the house available to us.
So in that sense, Cristina, how important are the donations and the money that's raised through events like what's coming up Saturday?
They're huge because all of the services that we provide to the families are free of charge. We support 111 bedrooms in the Texas Medical Center, as well as food and shuttles and social work and family activities. And we can't do that work and support families like David's without these types of fundraisers.
Yeah, and how important is the community? I guess these families come and go, but they're sort of all connected, or really all connected forever, though, aren't they?
Absolutely. We really encourage alumni families to come out and participate in the run. We do, as I mentioned, 3 big events throughout the year, but this one is all about family. The others is more like a gala or a golf tournament, but this is bringing the families together. Bring your strollers out, bring the entire family, and come and support Ronald McDonald House.
Yeah, David, is it that kind of an atmosphere, right? It's maybe not a party. How do you describe the Saturday morning?
Oh gosh, we love this run. We take our whole family out there, and a lot of our friends come out there. And the race itself is fantastic, but I mean, there's a lot of surprises, and the after party is fantastic. It's kid friendly, it's dog friendly. It's an outstanding event.
And you know you're doing something great, right?
Yes.
Donating and being part of it. Cristina, I understand that you have a promo code or something for folks that are watching right now if they want to get involved. What can you tell us about that?
That will give them a discount to come out. We really just love to have as many people out there participating in the event as possible, and want to encourage folks to make the decision to come.
Okay, what's the website? How can folks get more information and sign up and things?
rmhchouston.org is where they can find out about that event, and then all the other things going on at Ronald McDonald House as well. As you can imagine, this holiday season is a really busy time for us. Yeah. So we're always needing toys and snacks and volunteers. So please have folks come and look at the website to just find other ways to get involved with us now and really throughout the year. We are a 365-day operation, and we need as much support as we can get.
Yeah, any little bit helps, right? Volunteering time, money, donations. David, anything you'd like to add before we go?
No, I just reiterate what Cristina said. It's a fantastic organization. This is a fantastic run, and we hope to see everybody out there.
We appreciate you all coming in, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
I hope it's very successful. All right, let's send things over to Stapes and get your weather. I know it might be a little rainy maybe Saturday, right?
Yeah,
That's a
it's
few days away,
possibility.
though. So
yeah, we
don't
could
worry
see
about
a little bit. I don't think it's going to be, downpours and washout or anything, but it will be kind of a chilly chance for at least a few showers anyway. So kind of bundle up and keep that in mind if you are headed out there for what will be a fantastic race Saturday morning. Hey, we're still got some folks trying to get back into town, get out of town. Let's take a look at the airports across the country. We're A-OK. That's the good news. Nothing happening there. A lot of sunshine, nice shadows there. The giraffes enjoying a little bit of low-fat breakfast. They like the Greek yogurt, by the way. There's the little guy, not so little anymore. He's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But should be a beautiful day out at the zoo. Of course, zoo lights going on each evening as well. So if you haven't been there, if you're new to town, you haven't been out to zoo lights and taking the kids out there, highly recommend it. It is a lot of fun. It's a great family atmosphere. All right, looking into downtown right now, we're A-OK. We've got 48 degrees, east-northeast winds at around 6 miles an hour. And we actually bottomed out at 42 this morning. So everybody flipping back into the 40s that were in the 30s. We've got 42 up in Livingston, 56 down on the island right now, upper 40s to low 50s as you get across a good chunk of the metro. So still chilly, but we will warm up with the sunshine today back up into the mid to upper 60s. So we've got 44 in Conroe and the Woodlands. We'll go 50 out to Katy, 50 in Sugar Land, 55 in Clear Lake, and Mont Belvieu and Liberty both checking in at 41 right now. Fairly quiet start to the latter half of the morning here as we get to the 9, 10 o'clock hours. We'll see those temperatures move back up into the mid to upper 60s as we get later on today, and then we'll fall back going on this evening as well. Not much of a wind out there right now, but what's interesting is today the wind still out of the east-northeast. As we get to tomorrow and start to go to Wednesday, we'll see more of a south-southwest wind kick in. That'll warm things up, but it also means it's going to bring a lot more cloud cover back as well. Fairly quiet out there. Not a whole lot happening on the Storm Tracker 2 live radar, but as we mentioned, we're going to be tracking this area of low pressure. Let me zoom in a little tighter on this. There's not a whole lot happening with this so far, but for the most part, we'll see this low continue right around Tampico, bring in a few light scattered showers just south of the border. Most of what we'll see with this will bring in just a few lightly scattered showers around the valley, and then eventually over the next 1 to 2 days, we'll see this low start to creep up the coastline, and as it does, that's when we'll bring in the rain chances back to us. So let's run the futurecast. This is our short range track, so it only goes into about Wednesday afternoon, but it'll give you a good sense of when to expect some of those showers to move back in. So today, no problems. Tomorrow morning, clouds at the coast. Everybody sees them by late afternoon, evening, and then by 7 o'clock, notice we've got a few light showers up to the north up near College Station, some of those down around the south coast as well. And then as we go into the afternoon, those start to drift on through. Now, the question is how far away is that low? Is it a little further to the coast? Is it a little further offshore? That'll determine where a lot of these rain bands move, but that'll be just day one of what will likely be a couple of different days of at least some scattered shower chances. As a front moves in Thursday, that stalls out, and that'll bring those rain chances at least going into Friday, Saturday as well. So no washout, but certainly if you are headed out to that run for Ronald McDonald House, or, we've got holiday parties starting to kick up as well. Oh, you just need to be careful and be mindful of some of those quick little downpours we'll see.
Sounds good, partner. Appreciate it. All right, let's talk. If you have the Texans by 3.5, you lost. I know, it's tough, right? You only win by 3 when you needed to win by should have won by 20. Anyway, it's the bye week, and we could use the rest. And if you weren't watching yesterday, one Texan may be suspended and fined for a huge hit. But let's go to the videotape. Defense first. Trevor Lawrence. You didn't see Derek Stingley Jr. standing there, did you? Oh yeah, I like the nightclub music too. Let's go, Stingley. That's a nice pick and some nice moves. Close enough to get Kaimi Fairbairn in field goal range, 6-0. Now here's the hit. Oh, bam! With just 4 minutes left. This is the talker right here. Azeez Al-Shire with the hit on Trevor Lawrence. Some called it a cheap shot, call it what you want, but he was kicked out and tempers flared like a brawl on the field. Anyway, that was just the first half. Texans led at 6-3 at halftime. We go to the second half. Jags had tied it up at 6. But you know what I always say, you gotta let Joe eat. Joe Mixon. Can't do it all by himself, but he did quite a lot. There's the score, 101 yards on the day. 13-6 with a little dance. And then to the fourth, a little more offense. C.J. Stroud to the tight end, Dalton Schultz. There wasn't a defender within miles of him. That is pay dirt. And the Texans are up 23-6 at that point. Jags tried to make a comeback. They got pretty close, but fell short. Look at Joe go. 23-20 the final. Okay, a lot to talk about. Not a lot of offense, big hit. Let's hear from Coach and CJ.
that's not what we're coaching. It's just want to be smart in everything we do and not hurt the team, get a penalty there. We just have to be smarter when the quarterback is going down. Just an unfortunate play, not representative of who Aziz is. Like, Aziz is a smart player, really great leader for us.
Prayers to Trevor, and I really hope and pray he's okay, and, prayers to his family as well. But, yeah, I'm still rocking with Aziz. I don't think that was his intent. I pray that Trevor is okay, and, his family is right there with him.
And then we did see that Trevor posted online that he is doing okay, so thankfully. And of course, Texans got to defend their guy. Texans 8-5 on the season after the bye week. Miami Dolphins are up next. They're coming to town December 15th. All right, as we head to break, let's take a live shot from one of our cameras here. What's this? Oh, we've got the Houston area Chevy dealer, Sam Philippi camera. All right, quick break, and we'll be back with more right after this. All right, welcome back. Got a live shot from Washington, D.C. this morning. There is the White House. Now, the task force investigating the assassination attempts on President-elect Trump is set to hold its last hearing Thursday before releasing its final report. Now, this marks the close of really several months of work, much of it kept out of the public eye as this session of Congress nears its end. After the hearing, the bipartisan group of lawmakers will finalize their report and then move to make it public. Now, Sunday, President Biden signed a pardon for his son, Hunter, after Hunter was convicted on federal gun charges and federal tax evasion charges earlier this year. NBC's Mike Memoli reports.
President Biden's decision to pardon his son Hunter comes after the Biden family spent the Thanksgiving holiday together in Nantucket. And despite months of public denials by the White House that the president would consider taking such an action to spare his son a prison sentence, Hunter Biden was scheduled to appear in two separate courtrooms later this month for sentencing in two separate cases. The first in Delaware on gun-related charges and the second in Los Angeles on tax charges. Biden's pardon for his son covers not just those two cases, but any potential offenses that his son may have committed over a more than 10-year period beginning in January of 2014. In a statement, Biden said in part that no reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion that Hunter was singled out because he is my son. He added, "I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision." The announcement comes just more than 7 weeks before Donald Trump is sworn in as president. Allies of President Biden had expressed concern not just about the potential jail time Hunter was facing for those 2 cases, but the possibility that a Trump-led Justice Department would open new investigations into other potential crimes, including foreign lobbying. In a statement, a spokesperson for Donald Trump said that the justice system must be fixed and due process must be restored for all Americans, which is exactly what President Trump will do. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer said in a statement that Biden has been lying from start to finish about his family's corrupt influence peddling activities, an indication of how, while Hunter Biden may be spared of potential Justice Department probe, there may be future probes to come from congressional Republicans in the new year. Mike Memoli, NBC News, Washington.
Well, now that Thanksgiving's come to an end, well, a lot of folks start thinking about decorating their homes, unless you're like me, which I did it the day after Halloween. But yeah, a lot of folks procrastinate, maybe waiting until the week before Christmas. But hey, if you haven't done it and you're ready to get up there and hang some lights, we've got to look at some tips to help you stay safe while you decorate. Now that Thanksgiving is over, many people are dusting off their decorations and getting ready to deck the halls. And if you're one of them, it's important to keep safety in mind.
We see falls related to holiday decorating every year in the emergency department. Ladder safety is probably the biggest one that I can stress. When you climb ladders, make sure that it is firmly planted on the ground, and ideally have somebody with you to make sure that that ladder.
Now that Thanksgiving is over, many people are dusting off their decorations and getting ready to deck the halls. And if you're one of them, it's important to keep safety in mind.
We see falls related to holiday decorating every year in the emergency department. Ladder safety is probably the biggest one that I can stress. When you climb ladders, make sure that it is firmly planted on the ground, and ideally have somebody with you to make sure that that ladder is secure.
Dr. Carol Parsons specializes in emergency medicine for Cleveland Clinic. She says another easy way to fall is by reaching out too far while you're up on the ladder trying to hang the Christmas lights. It's best to get down and move the ladder over to the next spot. And speaking of Christmas lights, be sure to inspect them first. Anything with frayed wiring or broken bulbs should be thrown away, since it can pose a fire hazard. Overloading your electrical outlets can also be dangerous. Experts recommend using multiple outlets around the room instead. As for Christmas trees, artificial trees should be fire resistant and live ones need to be watered.
They tend to dry out as you get closer to the holiday season, so you do want to make sure that you water it very frequently and make sure that you keep your live trees away from fireplaces or other fire sources in your house.
I don't know, think about it. You get to watch that 1.5 times, right? The DJ used to say, "Wheeling, come again." According to the Consumer Safety Product Safety Commission last year, almost 15,000 people had to go to the ER because of holiday decorating related injuries. Stay safe out there. All right, let's take a break right now. And as we do, let's take a zoo camera, shall we? One of my little one's favorite things is feeding the giraffes at the zoo. Oh, it's so much fun. All right, look at those little guys, or gigantic guys. We'll be right back.
Oh, hey, that's
man.
my music. How about that, huh?
It's all you.
That is all me.
And now, Justin Stapleton.
There we go. Bye. All right, let's take a peek at what's happening downtown. We're at 48 right now. We got down to 42 this morning with the east-northeast wind at around 6 miles an hour. So far, so good. In fact, we're starting to slowly crawl out of the icebox for a couple of folks. We're still in the low 40s up near Huntsville in Conroe as well. We've got 50 in Katy, 52 at Hobby, 56 as you get down towards Galveston. So for this afternoon, should be a real nice day. We'll see 66 to about 68. This is a good day, as Owen was talking a bit ago about putting on your lights and whatnot. Today's the day to do it, because as we get later into the week, we'll start to be watching this coastal low that's down here across northern Mexico. This is going to slide up the coastline and bring in some showers and thunderstorms with it as it does. None of it's going to be super heavy, but enough that it will likely be a little messy, especially as the initial wave of that comes in on Wednesday. So keep that in mind. We'll see another front slide south here, stall out by Thursday into Friday. So I'm going to keep the rain chances a little elevated just to be on the safe side, since it's the first day of the week here. By Thursday, Friday into Saturday, we'll see those temperatures still holding in the mid to low 60s. So that's the other part to this too, is that we're not seeing any major swings in those temperatures though. So as we're getting into the beginning of December here, it looks like we're finally turning into a little bit of a wintry weather. I know there's a lot of folks out there that wanted it to be a little colder given how warm November is. So there you go.
You're welcome.
That's right. You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, let's take a live look outside for your drive times. I said a live look at the computer with the graphics on it. This is your wheel of traffic. It's pretty rough. Is that still accurate? It's pretty rough still in from Katy at 48 minutes. Wow. Let's take a look outside too from Houston TransStar. We still have that crash working. I-10 east at Mercury. It says 3 vehicles are involved. I can't tell if one of them is a heavy truck, possibly. They're still working on clearing this from the highway, so you should definitely consider avoiding that area if you can. Camera 2, let's go. Thanks for joining us for KPRC 2 News at 8. Clearly I don't do this enough. Haley's coming up next at 9. Have a great afternoon.
Welcome to KPRC 2 Plus now at 9. You're looking live at the Harris County Criminal Justice Center in downtown Houston. This is where a man accused of beating and killing his wife is scheduled to face a judge at any moment. We're going to have a live report and new information about the suspect's past that we've uncovered. And this morning, a little girl is in the hospital in critical condition after police say that she was beaten by her mother's friend. Ahead, the bond given to the woman despite the little girl's life-threatening injuries. Good morning. I'm Haley Hernandez. We're going to get right to meteorologist Justin Stapleton with a look at the weather.
Thank you very much, Haley. Let's get you out the door. A lot of sunshine this morning. As Owen and I were just talking about a little bit ago, the giraffes enjoying a little bit of breakfast out there. Their enclosure friend, the sweet little ostrich right there. By the way, there's a big, good story behind how that ostrich is still there. And then, of course, there's our little fellow that was born last spring. Not so little anymore, getting bigger. Beautiful start out at the zoo. Right now, downtown, same story. Still in the 40s in many locations. We've finally gotten back up to the low 50s, but we did bottom out around 42 this morning with an east-northeast wind, so very dry air moving in. That's with no clouds this morning allowed us to cool off very quickly. Not as cool as we were, I believe, Saturday morning. We got down into the upper 30s, which was the first time we'd seen that since last February, but still 42 is 42 nonetheless. Still chilly out there in some spots as well in the low to mid 40s, low 50s across the metro, and we're starting to slowly warm things back up down at the coast. It's 60 degrees down in Galveston. So today, if you haven't put up any of your decorations, lights, things like that around the house for the holidays, today's a great day to get it done. There's some rain coming back into the forecast as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So the back half of the week's probably going to be a little bumpy at times. So today's a great day to get out and get that done. If you haven't been in the garage in a while to figure out where everything is, this is a good day to get out there and try to find that. So let's talk about what we'll see over the next couple of days here. High pressure sitting in northern Mississippi near Tupelo right now is what's bringing in that east-northeast wind for us. Now, eventually, as we get into the latter half of the week, we're going to be tracking this low sitting down here just across the border. The majority of what we'll be seeing with this is going to slowly move through, slide up the coastline here over the next, probably 24 to 48 hours as it slides on through. Right now, most of what we've got out there is just some very light showers. You can see up around Corpus, sliding a little further south there, right outside of, outside the valley, down around Padre Island. So once that slides a little further north, that's when we'll see a chance to bring in some of those showers and a thunderstorm or two. So here's what it looks like. The majority of what we'll get will likely stay dry for tomorrow. And then eventually, as we get to Tuesday night and Wednesday, here comes the first wave. That will continue through our Wednesday afternoon. And we'll not only see that, but a stalled front by Thursday. It's going to keep those rain chances around Haley Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's why I mentioned if you do have things to put up around the house, especially outside, today, tomorrow, those are the days to get it done.
Best days to do it. All right. Thank you, Justin. A convicted sex offender is set to be in court any moment now, accused of beating his wife to death inside a motel in North Houston. His bond is set at $250,000. Court documents show that he has a history of domestic violence. Kathy Hernandez is live at the county courthouse hearing from the family about the challenges that their daughter had been facing.
Good morning to you. Just a heartbreaking situation for this family. Yesterday was actually Alicia Stromberg's 35th birthday, and instead of celebrating with her, they're now planning her funeral. She was a daughter and a mother of 3 children who was tragically taken. Documents show that her husband, Myron Strambler, was convicted of felony sexual assault of a child in 2009 and had a history of domestic violence. In 2020, he was charged with domestic violence against her, but she asked the judge to dismiss the case. In 2021, again, he was charged with domestic violence after he beat Alicia, allegedly. A judge set his bond at $2,500. Alicia got a restraining order against him, but apparently he violated that restraining order. For both the assault and the violation, he was sentenced to 3 days in jail and community service. Alicia's parents say Myron was controlling and their daughter was too scared to get away.
But it seems like there's more emphasis put on people getting out of jail than there is finding resources to help people like this. But she did not deserve this in the way she was brutally murdered. And I don't wish this on any parents to have to go through that.
On Saturday, family and friends held a candlelight vigil to honor Alicia outside the motel where she was brutally murdered on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. Her parents say the system failed their daughter, that Myron should have been in jail and face stricter punishments for his previous cases. They're fighting now to keep him behind bars so he doesn't hurt anyone else.
We want her here. Being the circumstances as they are, she's probably in a better place now because she won't be hurting.
No, but I just told her kids that your mom's your angel.
And Alicia had 3 kids, all of them now staying with relatives. Alicia's mother, the one you heard there, says one of her granddaughters even put on her Christmas list, "I want my mommy back," and it's sad, a sad reminder that she won't be able to give that to her granddaughter. As for Stromberg, the suspect in this case, he's set to be in court any minute now. Haley, back to you.
Yeah, I can't think of anything worse. Thank you so much for that report, Kathy. We'll be eager to find out what happens in court this morning. Now, a Harris County woman charged with beating a 4-year-old will be in court this morning also for a bond review. 30-year-old Tamiria Barnett is charged with injury to a child. A warning that some of what you're about to hear is disturbing. TJ Parker is outside of Texas Children's Hospital, where that 4-year-old is still fighting for her life.
Well, this is just awful. That 4-year-old was rushed here to the Texas Children's Hospital late last week with life-threatening injuries, and she remains here at the hospital in critical condition. Sadly, through court documents, we have learned that she is not expected to survive her injuries. We want to show you the woman that is accused in this case. 30-year-old Tamiria Barnett was arrested on Friday. They say the 4-year-old had been living with Barnett since September while the girl's mother was in jail. We got court documents that say the child was beaten daily for months. They go on to say Barnett violently assaulted the child, causing those life-threatening injuries. Barnett has a previous assault charge, by the way, where she completed an anger management class and her charge was dismissed. Now, this is certainly a case that we are continuing to look into. We have reached out to Child Protective Services to see if they've had any interaction with Barnett. Barnett, again, is due back in court at 9 this morning for a bond review. Her bond was initially set at $100,000, but she has since bonded out. Of course, we will be in court and let you know what happens. Reporting in the Med Center, I'm TJ Parker, KPRC 2 News.
All right, thanks, TJ. And news of a very violent Houston continues. The man accused of stabbing and killing his sister and niece the day after Thanksgiving is set to go before a judge tomorrow. 29-year-old Kendrick Fisher is charged with capital murder. Police say Fisher stabbed his sister Janine and his niece KW early Friday morning at her Richmond Avenue apartment. Fisher was found asleep on the couch with bloody clothes. Court records show that he had a lengthy criminal history dating back to 2012. According to investigators, Fisher's sister was letting him stay with her and her daughter since he got out of prison. One neighbor at the complex said that he saw them jogging together more than once, but they say they also saw signs of substance abuse, and they think that that played a part in the murders.
On Thanksgiving, he was, a little inebriated and being assaultive, and the sister called the family members, and family members told her to call police.
Fisher's bond is set at $200,000. His next court appearance is tomorrow. Officers dodged rapid gunfire during a roughly 3-hour standoff in Pearland. The standoff ended when the suspect peacefully surrendered Monday morning. 39-year-old Jorge Pineda was arrested after police say that he fired roughly 20 rounds at officers. A neighbor called 911 after noticing bullet holes in his door. When officers arrived, they noticed bullets had been fired from inside Pineda's apartment. As officers were knocking on the door, police say that Pineda fired several rounds from inside of his home through the closed door. Police dodged the bullets while using ballistic shields. Despite the large amounts of gunfire, no one was hurt. After roughly 3 hours of negotiations, police say Pineda peacefully surrendered. Neighbors who woke up to the sound of gunfire say that they feel lucky to be safe.
A weird way to wake up till morning, but also pretty cool to see that cops have everything under control, no matter how bad it was.
Pineda is charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on a public servant. Some car owners may have had their vehicles ruined by a fire overnight. The South Houston Fire Department is working to figure out what started the fire at a warehouse housing several businesses on Shaver near Spencer Highway. The fire broke out around 10:30 last night. The Pasadena Fire Department was called in to help put out the fire. Among the businesses affected, a mechanic shop that still had cars inside. Richard Reyes, better known as Poncho Claus, is asking the community's help in gathering toys for children in need this season as he recovers from a recent health scare. Houston Velocity Baseball and Mission One USA are helping to carry on his annual mission in his absence. They hosted a fundraiser and toy drive Sunday at the JV Ranch Ice House in Northeast Houston. Reyes recently had a heart attack and he's in the hospital awaiting a double bypass. But he's now asking Houstonians to help him collect 20,000 toys for underprivileged children.
He would come out to my school when I was in elementary school. So he's always set the standard on how important it is to give back to those who need it. And we need to teach these young ones to keep doing that, follow in his footsteps.
So KPRC2 has compiled a list of ways that you can help Poncho Claus, and you can find that list at click2houston.com. Now, before we head to break, here's another live view of the ribbon cutting ceremony at Memorial Hermann Southwest Hospital. This is where elected officials, medical directors, and experts and community leaders are gathering to commemorate the first ever mom and baby mobile health clinic. The 30-foot clinic features 2 rooms where health services will be provided for pregnant women. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are taking a live look now outside of the White House, but it's what's inside the executive mansion that's catching our eyes. Here's a sneak peek of this year's holiday decor. The theme is a season of peace and light. Several hundred volunteers spent the week decorating the White House's public spaces. Nearly 10,000 feet of ribbon, more than 28,000 ornaments, and some 165,000 lights on wreaths, garlands, and other displays are set up. There are also 83 Christmas trees inside. First Lady Jill Biden is expected to unveil the decor and deliver remarks just before noon today. The House Task Force is investigating the assassination attempts on President-elect Donald Trump and is set to hold its last hearing on Thursday before releasing their final report. It marks the close of several months of work, with much of it being kept out of the public's eye as this session of Congress nears its end. After the hearing, the bipartisan group of lawmakers will finalize their report and move to make it public. A major announcement from President Biden. He has granted clemency to his son Hunter, who was set to face sentencing on gun-related and tax convictions. NBC's Bree Jackson is in Washington with reactions from Capitol Hill.
President Biden pardoning his son Hunter Biden, who was convicted earlier this year of felony gun and tax charges. Writing in a statement, "No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because he is my son, and that is wrong." The decision marks a reversal from the president's previous comments.
I said I'd abide by the jury decision, and I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
Mr. Biden ignoring questions from reporters about the matter. President-elect Trump among those blasting the outgoing president, posting, "Does the pardon given by Joe to Hunter include the J6 hostages who have now been in prison for years? Such an abuse and miscarriage of justice." Even some Democrats say the pardon is the wrong move. Arizona Congressman Greg Stanton writing, "This wasn't a politically motivated prosecution. Hunter committed felonies and was convicted by a jury of his peers." The pardon covers any potential offenses that Hunter Biden may have committed over a more than 10-year period beginning in January of 2014.
Typically, people have to apply, and usually they've already served a sentence. They've been convicted. This is not the normal process.
Hunter reacting in a statement saying, "I will never take the clemency I've been given today for granted and will devote the life I have rebuilt to helping those who are still sick and suffering." The pardon comes after the Biden family spent the Thanksgiving holiday together in Nantucket and marks one of the president's final acts before leaving the White House and public life. And Hunter Biden was scheduled to appear in 2 separate courtrooms this month for sentencing in 2 separate cases. The pardon means that Hunter will not be sentenced for those crimes. In Washington, Bree Jackson, KPRC 2 News.
And now to the border crisis. A senior U.S. official says migrant crossings along the U.S. southern border fell in November, part of a downward trend over recent months. The U.S. Border Patrol reportedly arrested around 47,000 migrants along the U.S.-Mexico border last month, and that is down from the more than 56,000 migrants who were arrested in October. Homeland Security officials have credited the Biden administration's executive action on immigration for the dramatic decline over recent months. Decorating your home for the holidays can be a fun tradition, but it can also be dangerous if you're not careful. Coming up, tips to stay safe while you work to be the envy of your neighborhood. This holiday season, you can make a meaningful difference in the lives of newcomers by participating in the YMCA International Services Adopt a Family Holiday Giving Program. Joining us to talk about the program is Maria Rebelar of the YMCA of Greater Houston. Thanks for joining me this morning. Maria, you can hear me, right? Okay.
I can hear you. I couldn't hear anything else.
Okay, great. Well, so we're on now, and let our audience know more about the YMCA International Services Program. What is the program?
Yes, so we have Adopt a Family here at YMCA International Services, and it focuses on having our newcomers have family essentials for the holidays. So they have just arrived here, and so we're providing some of the pots and pans and maybe rugs or just some homely items that you would consider to make your home welcoming.
So we're talking about refugees who are coming from other countries. Are you identifying them, or how are you finding out who needs what?
So we, here at YMCA International, we work with refugees, newcomers. We specialize in post-relief services. We really help support our newcomers, and the programs range from education, immigration, really providing these services for these families who are resettling in the Greater Houston area. It is a program that is free. It's all based on their status. So we provide services here that they're able to go through, and depending on where they are in the process, we will do our best to help support them.
And do they reach out to you if they're in need of support, or does another organization put you in touch with these people?
Yes, so if they are looking for services or need support, they're able to go to our website and submit some information for help, but also call into our office line, and we'll be able to make sure that they get supported by the right department.
Very good. And so what are some of the most common items that you're in need of this holiday season?
Yes, so pots and pans are always a big ticket item, is what we would say. Rugs, also because these are newcomers, some electronics. We have a whole Amazon wish list of basic items. A lot of it is kitchen or bathroom, just basic needs that we provide that they need in their restrooms and things like that, and to make their home more cozy.
All right, Maria Rebelar, thank you so much for explaining that to us. We appreciate it, and good luck this holiday season. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.